the Truth, Money, and Freedom podcast.
Welcome to Truth, Money, and Freedom. Today is Wednesday, the 30th of September, 2020, last day of the quarter, gang. Hey, I want to talk about the debates, but first I want to talk to you a little bit about a giveaway through EMP Shield. Once again, I'm not advertising for them. I want you guys to understand that. I'm not advertising for this company. But I do want to let you know that they are having a giveaway for their EMP Shield products. If you've never looked into them before, what they are is kind of a specialized surge protector for protecting you from surges for your whole house, and then apparently lightning and EMPs as well. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because for most of you who have been with me for more than a year, you know that lightning hit my house August of last year, actually August 26th of 2019. It had a nice big hole in the roof, an explosion in the attic, an enormous amount of damage to electrical items in the house. I'd say about 60% of everything that we owned that ran on electricity was burned out. And that's with hardcore surge protection. I'm very big into surge protection. I'm an IT guy. I do server rooms. So, of course, I'm very big into voltage regulated, pure sine wave battery backups, isobars. I'm at the whole works. But after the lightning strike, I started looking into solutions that would help with a lightning strike. I started looking into EMP Shield, which a lot of people actually partner with on YouTube. I have not. I have no partnership with them at this time. I have looked into a partnership with them. But these things are quite handy. They're quite valuable. They're about $400 a piece. And they're doing a giveaway. So in the description section below, you'll see a link for the giveaway. Full disclosure, I want you guys to know this before you even do it. This is a link that they provided me when I did the giveaway. And for everyone who enters on that link, I get another chance into the drawing. So I want you guys to know that. However, this isn't the reason I'm doing it. It really isn't. I would really love someone in Truth, Money, and Freedom to win this. So you guys should all give this a shot. Go ahead and sign up for this giveaway. And what it is, they're giving away 4 EMP shields, and that's 2 EMP shields to 2 people. So, in other words, if you win the drawing, you get to pick from their catalog 2 different products. They're all roughly about the same, around $400 each, but they have different purposes. So, at any rate, please do enter the drawing, and good luck to everybody. I hope someone in Truth, Money, and Freedom wins. That would be super cool. And once again, I am not advertising for them. I do not advertise for them, but I do want someone to actually win something this valuable and protect themselves from power surges, from lightning strikes, or even from an EMP. Okay, now I want to talk about the debate. And I'm going to go as quick as I can here, gang. There is so much data out there wanting you to subscribe to a point of view on the debates. Lots of different shifting focuses that actually distract and redirect attention from some of the main points. Civil war at Fox News, because Chris Wallace, basically seemed like he was actually attacking Trump during debates, and he's the moderator. Well, I don't know what to say about that. I didn't really look at it from that angle, although it did kind of seem that way a couple of times to me. But here's another article, and this is the last one I'm going to share with you because I need to give you my point of view on something that they didn't talk about. 2 crucial things emerged from the presidential debate. And the first one was when Trump was actually saying to Biden, asking the question, are you going to stack the court if you become president? Now, that's actually a very important question because this article here points out that if Democrats stack the court, it's pretty much over for the Republican Party. They don't even need your votes anymore. The court can make laws. They always do. They have. So is the Supreme Court. Even though it's not actually a part of the legitimate process of lawmaking. But it's called legislating from the bench and precedent. Now, I'm not going to go into that right now because we've done podcasts about this in the past. And then the other point was when Trump says, we got them all, we got them on tape. He was referring to the coup on his presidency from Obama, Justice Department, the FBI, the CIA, the Democrat Party, the DNC, all of them colluding together to illegitimately try to take him out of office. Now, if that's true, and I'm going to talk about the stacking of the court thing, because I think that basically any party that's in power tries to, quote-unquote, stack the court. But if that's true, and Trump has all this data on all these folks that actually tried to take the presidency away from him, then why hasn't he released it yet? Why is he waiting for his second campaign to release this data? Because this is what we're talking about, is draining the swamp. Well, I think the reason is because it's just that. He needs bullets in his gun when he's running for president again, because so far, it's not been a very good presidency for him. A lot of bad things have been happening. And this is not of his doing, but it's on his watch. Now, Trump did do some things, for instance, the cutting off of trade with China. And I understand why he did it. And it should have been done a long, long time ago. But no one had the balls to do it. Clinton didn't, Bush didn't, Obama didn't. And that's just a fact. All three of them should have literally talked to China and said, this trade deal that we have doesn't benefit the American people, but it does benefit you guys tremendously, and we're going to have to figure out a way to actually make this more fair. So let's talk about fair trade instead of quote-unquote free trade. So I don't want to go any further into this. This is actually a good article about the debate, but I want to talk about healthcare for a second, because I'm trying to make my podcast shorter. What they did talk about healthcare, but they pointed fingers at each other and both said that, Trump said, my plan for taking care of, healthcare is better, the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. And Biden saying, Obamacare was fine the way it was. But here's the deal. And I'm telling you, Democrats and Republicans alike don't like what I have to say on this matter. But this is fascism, corporatism, mercantilism. Give it a name. This is both men running for president say government needs to be in healthcare. Now, I'm going to give you a different scenario. Because when Trump was campaigning for president back in 2016, he understood that a free market for healthcare would benefit the people. Now, he couldn't articulate what he was thinking. Trump has a difficult time with that. He has, and that doesn't take away from his intelligence. He just has a smaller vocabulary than, for instance, many other people. But he talked about erasing the invisible lines in the states and kind of left it at that. What he was talking about doing was allowing insurance companies to compete over state lines. Now, this is something that currently we can't do, and it's because of government. It's because of government. It's not because the insurance companies, specifically chose not to do that. What they did is they lobbied the government to make it illegal for them to compete over state lines. You guys have to remember now, these guys, both these guys, Trump and Biden, are both controlled by the military pharmaceutical complex, the military medical complex. They're both controlled through these guys. So a free market solution is anathema to them. It's the exact opposite of what they want, because the people who control them don't want it. So why does this benefit the military pharmaceutical complex and the military medical complex? And that's because they both get significantly more cash as long as the government is in control of healthcare. If government's in control with Obamacare, the hospitals don't have to absorb the price of people going in seeking treatment when they don't have any type of insurance. Now, what it's done is it's turned that on the government. Now, the government has to absorb the price of people going in getting treatment when there is no insurance. But what it leads to, and what Obamacare was all about, and believe me, guys, I've looked into this, so you guys can look into it. You can trust me, but I encourage you to look into it. Obamacare did two things specifically. Now, it did a lot of things, but the two main things was depopulation. It was public funding of abortions, number one, and euthanasia of the elderly, I believe. And if you don't believe me, look into the first bailout bill under George Bush in 2008. The bank bailout bill actually had a rider in it, a single paragraph, that said if the government should ever take over health care, the government reserves the right to ration health care. It's that simple, gang. And don't get any illusions that one of these two guys here is looking out for your best interests. These guys are compromised, both of them. And I know that we're supposed to pick a side, to pick the lesser of two evils. I understand that. I understand that that's the MO. In fact, they'll even say that in the mainstream media, pick the lesser of two evils. But how about the option of not picking evil at all? How about that? I mean, apparently that's not an option anymore. Illustrated by my very own county clerk, Kay Brown. I live in Christian County, Missouri. And I found out that if you do a write-in for president of the United States, in other words, you don't, pick between the two vomitous choices they give you, and you decide to circle in a write-in and write in the name of someone you want for president. In my case, I've written in Ron Paul many times. Your ballot actually doesn't count anymore. It goes into a pile of uncountable ballots that only get counted if there's a hand recount. So I'm not joking. I think that we have quite possibly one of the most corrupt voting systems I've ever seen before. This was talked about in the debate last night. But does it even work? If you don't like the two guys and you write in someone else, your ballot's not counted. Now, with all the mail-in ballots that are going out right now and actually being sold, guys, you've heard these stories. People are going around and selling ballots, blank ballots that they can turn in, through the mail. Is there going to be any reality to the election anyway? My point about health care is poignant. It doesn't matter which one of these two guys get elected for health care. It doesn't matter for health care, period. End of story. What that means for health care is we'll never have a free market again. We haven't had a free market in health care in decades, many decades. Probably, my guess is before Medicare. I think Medicare came out in the 70s, maybe, something like that. I might be confusing that with Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac or something. I've got a lot of factoids banging around in my cranium, and I get dates mixed up sometimes. But I think Medicare came into being in the 70s, I think. And that's when the government took over healthcare. That's when we started having explosive inflation in healthcare. When you have the government actually involved in something like military. The military could be a lot cheaper if we didn't have this fascist relationship between government and the actual government or the military contractors, like McDonnell Douglas, Boeing, and GE. Those are just three easy ones that come to mind. If it was truly a fair system, there would be bids for everything, and there wouldn't be any favoritism, and we could have a cheaper defense system than we have right now. We'll do another podcast about that later, because it's the numbers that are coming out is anything we buy through these contractors cost us about 80% more than it should. You heard me correctly, 80% more. And there's reasons for it. We'll do it another time. But I just wanted to cover this aspect of the debate and actually make you guys aware that these guys are both fascists. Both of them. They're both fascist. Now, I know that many people will disagree with me and say Trump is trying to do good. Well, then why didn't he try what he proposed while he was campaigning in 2016, which is actually allowing, and not just allowing, but forcing insurance companies to compete? He doesn't talk about that anymore. There's no allowance for that discussion on the stage anymore, because that really upsets the insurance companies when you say that. They don't want to compete. They want their monopolies. 4 insurance companies per state, something like that, maybe 5. We're talking about health insurance, not life insurance. Life insurance can compete over state lines, but it's not true with health insurance. That's why it's so expensive, gang. There's almost no competition for these guys. So, at any rate, that's all I had to say for today. I wanted to give you a little perspective outside the box on what happened in the debates last night. They both showed you that they're fascist. I'm sorry, gang, but it's true. They're both locked into literally whoever controls them. The pharmaceutical, military, industrial complex, or whatever you want to call it, has their arms up these men's butts all the way up to their elbows. And that's why you can't have a free market solution in healthcare. And by the way, I will talk about the free market solutions and other things that they think government has the best solution for on future podcasts. So at any rate, we got an illustration last night. We get to choose between a douche and a feces sandwich. Those are our two choices. Okay, gang, you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for choosing to watch Truth, Money, and Freedom. We appreciate all of you. Love your comments. You guys all have a wonderful day. May God bless you all.